I've done a pretty decent job of bringing my physique down over the last couple of years. In fact, probably a bit too much. So I feel like this time around, we wanted to gain back some of the muscle that I had run off and basically dieted off over the last couple of years. So that was a really big focus in the beginning. So the training was heavier, higher volume. I incorporated a lot of different techniques. It's a much higher volume training to really just try to get as much muscle as we could in a short period of time.
I've been working with Nicole for about 12 weeks now. And what we've been doing is basically trying to get her body balanced out between her upper body and lower body in terms of muscularity, and then obviously continue to work on her conditioning. What we're trying to do with Nicole is trying to get maximum width out of her back. So when she's doing her front relaxed pose and her rear relaxed pose, she has better flow and a better X frame. So what we're doing is going heavier on the back workouts and going lighter with more reps on the other workouts, so that way she can actually put on a little bit more muscle on her back and build the balance that we keep talking about.
Now we have my upper body where it needs to be, but we still want to keep that fullness in the back width so that it helps to balance out my legs. So it's all about that shape of the physique. You want nice round shoulders, the V-taper back, shape to the legs, but you want it all to flow nice. So if your legs are too big compared to your upper body, again, that throws off the balance of the physique and the symmetry.
A lot of people have asked me recently, noticed, are you working with Nicole? Are you working with Nicole? And it was one of those things that it's very similar to Jay in the past in 2009 when I first started working with Jay. At that time, Jay had just lost and came off of some issues with conditioning, and we were able to bring him in his best ever. So so far I find a lot of parallels with that. The only difference is the fact that with Jay, I pretty much had a year. With Nicole, we've had 12 weeks and probably about 15, 16 weeks altogether versus, the longer off-season time that we had together when I worked with Jay in 2009.
So Hany doesn't live in Temecula, so we don't usually get to train a whole lot one-on-one, but he is a very integral part as far as, Nicole, we need to do this, do this, do this, do this. So it's nice when he can be there with me to push me a little bit harder.
Right now, today, what we did was we worked on her upper back with pull-ups, both in a regular overhand position, as well as doing V-bar pull-ups so that we have a slightly different angle.
My lower back has always been more developed because of my gymnastics career. So trying to keep the focus away from the core area, to keep that area smaller and really just make my back as wide as possible. We do a lot of pull downs. So you'll see wide grip pull-ups, close grip pull-ups, reverse grip. These are just things I do regularly.
Went into the rows, machine rows. Obviously, every trainer has their own set of philosophies, and what I try to do is basically everything that we did was every part of our program has been changed. Went into a pull down using a hammer strength.
Lots and lots of pull downs of all sorts. But really just focusing more on the high upper lat.
And then also doing a bend over row with dumbbells. And that's again with the support so that her core wouldn't fire. So doing all that together and then finishing it off with straight arm pull downs using the ropes. Up to this point, she's been able to put on some, muscle here in the last 12 weeks. And during the next 3.5 weeks, what we're going to do is basically bring it down so that it can basically balance in terms of conditioning, size, where some of the stronger body parts are going to start coming down and some of the weaker body parts are going to stay full.
As the show is getting closer now, we have done a decent job, I think a pretty good job, of putting on some of the muscle that we needed to improve the shape of my physique. Genetically, I don't ever have a problem gaining muscle, so that seems to be something that comes fairly easy. It's just making sure that it goes on in the right spots.
Good.
the second part of our workout was abs. When I first started working with Nicole, her core had really weakened. In the past, she had a real strong core from her gymnastics background, but I think just due to the fact that, she was working out probably abs once or twice a week. Now we're training abs 5 days a week. We're really blasting them. We're blasting them from all different angles. We all know that abs are just one set of muscles, but we're trying to work on all the different angles. So lower ab, upper ab, trying to do a lot of different things so that we can prioritize the abs in the beginning of the workout sometimes. And also, just like I said, doing them 5 days a week instead of 1 or 2, just so that when she stands up there in her front relaxed pose, that she doesn't look so washed out in the front. We want to try to get some good texture and fill in her midsection.
Now that we're getting closer to the show, within the last 3 weeks, we really want to make sure that my back stays full. So we're still lifting heavy back, but I want to bring my shoulders down just a little bit and my legs down just a little bit. So we're doing much higher repetition, less rest. So just structuring the training a little bit differently to really try to refine the physique for the stage.